Is that you? It's me. Well, here we are again. I thought I would show you the typical road in winter in Canada, or at least here. Now, let us just have a look at this road. Notice how white it is. That white is from the salt. You see, whenever there's bad road conditions, they need to get rid of the snow pretty quickly, or ice. They do that. They put salt on it. Now you see how it's wet in the middle. You see this wet area in the middle there? That's because there's still some moisture in the salt. So it is wet from salt, not from snow or water or anything. Now also notice how black the lines are in the road, the cracks in the road. And so you have the salt water, which gets into that. Now, what breaks the roads is freezing and thawing. And lately there's been an awful lot of freezing and thawing going on in this neck of the woods. And so the roads are all quite, I wouldn't really say broken up right now, but up near our place, some of the roads that don't have as good a foundation as the other roads heave. And so you'll see as you drive along that instead of a nice smooth road, the road is more like a washboard. And it's a temporary condition. It will go back when everything is thawed out, when the soil way down deep below the road as well as the air, when everything is thawed out, the road will go back to being flat. But in the meantime, you get quite a bit of heaving. And see, for instance, see how this road, see how it's all broken and bumpy? See, the salt does that. It gets into those cracks, it melts it. And then as the salt washes away, it freezes again. More salt comes along, it melts it. Then it washes away from either rain or enough snow and being, when they plow the roads, enough snow will wipe the road away, you know, get rid of a lot of the salt that way. Anyway, so now here you see the road is a little bit damp on this side. Pretty dry in the middle. And that's all to do with the salt, because it's quite cold. It's -8 on there. It's probably -10 or 11, because that thing doesn't register correctly. But now this is typical for the winter. You see, you have white sky, white snow, white road. You have gray trees. Now, unlike Georgia, where it never really gets, the trees never really get bare in Georgia. While one tree will get bare, there's another tree nearby that has green leaves on it. Certain kinds of bushes and trees don't lose their leaves. And they don't get brown. Some of the ones that do get brown do not fall off. And there's one that is, I think that's hop hornbeam, sometimes known as ironwood. And that one, look at this, look how wet the road is here, you see? And they've used the sand over there on that road, because that's a township road. We're on a county road here. And what happens, you see, near a place where you've got to stop, they're more likely to put salt on the road frequently, which results in a wet road. And of course, as you drive, the tires pick up the bit of moisture and they spray it up on the underside of the car. You can feel the bumpiness. I'll just leave this on the, you can feel how much bumps are in the road. So what gets tiresome about winter in Canada is that continual white sky, white road, white snow, and the gray trees. They're not even black. When they're near the melting point, they're black. Just like when the salt melts the water, it's dark. The road is dark. But the colder it is, the lighter the tree color is. They're very light gray when they're very dark, when they're very cold, frozen. Now, did you see all that stuff coming up off the truck? It's bits of salt. I'm zooming in on it. You could hear it a little bit when it hit the car. That was my little lesson. Even the cedar trees have a yellowish tint to them in the wintertime. They're more green in the summer. I think that car has been sitting there all morning. Okay, well, that's it. Wintertime in Canada. True north, strong and free. It's hard to believe that if I just drive south for a few hours, there won't be any snow anymore. Of course, the rivers won't be clear, they'll be brown. Not completely everywhere. I'm gonna make a hammock and take with me. So when I go back down there and I go down to the river, I can lie in a hammock if I wish. Look at the back. Now this is an interesting location. There's a ridge that we're crossing, and it's always snowing on the other side of this ridge. Look at this picture on the trunk on the back of the car. Oops, on the back of the truck. Okay, just a minute. It's a moose picture or something. Yeah, right through here. Past here, we get snow. Did you see how difficult it was to see that white car? White cars and gray cars are very difficult to see in Canada in the winter. They just sneak right up on you. You don't see them at all. See how they blend in? Well, you knew they were there. That's why they didn't. That truck ahead actually blends right in. You can't even see he's there. If cars were all red, like that stop sign, then we could see them all year long, don't you think? Of course, everything gets covered in salt. So you get this white powdery stuff, and then the white powdery stuff, of course, gets on your coat. So every time you touch this outside of the car by mistake with your clothes, you get salt on it. Also, you get in the car, and look what happens to the floor mat. Look how filthy that is. That's from the salt. From the salty snow. Or whatever the salty slush is that you've got on your boots. You bring it in and it melts onto the floor and leaves an awful mess. And then, of course, you have to be very careful of your purse. You don't want anything to sit on the floor or else it'll get wet. Wonder how the fox is doing. That's where the fox lives. But then